It's customary whenever African people, whenever Rastafarians gather in a situation like this, that one of the first things we do is to say thanks and praises.
Yes.
So, Ras Bonajis, why don't you do that for us?
Give thanks.
Give thanks.
Offer prayer unto the Father.
Peace.
Yes, so give thanks and praise to the Most High, His Majesty, Eli Selassie, King Rastafari, for his good, because his mercies endure forever. Let the Redeemer of the Almighty say so, whom have redeemed from the hands of the enemy, and get us out of all the countries of the world. They wandered in solitude places, they found no city to dwell. Hunger and thirst all upon them, their soul was fainted in the wilderness. Let the Most High, Haile Selassie, gather them together unto his habitation. If men would praise the Almighty for his wonderful work and for his great things that he have done, then you would show mercy and kindness unto them. This however we give thanks and praise to the Most High and blessing upon each and every one that will tend unto these few words that we have to give and come in remembrance of our ancient traditional life that we brought forth unto the nation. Rastafari, the Most High, Haile Selassie, bless us, satisfy us according to thy will and according to thy righteousness, even now and so and forever.
Ras Sam Brown, the first question to you, one that has been bothering me for as long as I've known about Rastafarianism. Is Rastafarianism a religion?
Well, to make you be correct, we do not address this philosophy as Rastafarianism. Isms bring schisms. You understand?
Yes.
So we say Rastafari,
okay,
a Rastafarian. We are not Rastafarians, neither we are Rastafarian. Okay. Well, upon the same subject, if it's a religion, religion is, as we see religion today in the world, we know that religion is practiced by all these churches that bear the cross, these Babylonian churches, that religiosity in man is something that must be observed, but religion, as dealing with this faith, is not. This is a way of life. You can practice religion, but this is an evolving thing that every day you learn more from you is dealing with Rastafari.
But you do have a religious aspect, a strong religious aspect. I mean, you talk about Jah, you quote extensively from the Bible and so on. Explain that for me.
Religiosity is a part of man's worship. The way he worships is the religiosity of his worship. But religion as practiced by the churches of Christendom, we are not a part.
So there's a special way that Rastas worship?
Yes, we are theocrats.
You're a theocrat. Explain that for me.
Well, we are speaking of a government which is a God government, meaning the time shall come when the lion shall eat grass like the ox, and the weaning child play with the serpent, and none shall be afraid. We are thinking of a government that don't think of arms and ammunition to take the life of people.
So would I be correct if I refer Ras Bonajis to Rastafarian as a culture, as a cultural movement? Would I be correct if I refer to it that way?
Thanks,
Huh?
Yeah.
Would I be correct if I refer to Rastafarian as a cultural movement?
I would like to give you my point of correction.
Okay, all right, go right ahead.
Well, as for Rastafari, I count it within the ancient traditional life as a traditional people, not a religion, not a cult. But we order from the foundation of the creation to abide in the Almighty commandment righteously. not religion, righteously.
Okay, all right. Let's move and talk about a controversial issue. You may not find it controversial, but it is controversial. Rastas talk a lot about His Majesty, the Emperor Haile Selassie. Now here is a person who dabbled in the field of politics and ended his life in political disgrace. Yet Rastas hail up this man as an icon. Why, Ras Sambron?
Well, to speak, my heart give a pang when I hear you say that he ended in disgrace.
Political disgrace. Political disgrace.
All right, okay.
I want to be specific about that.
Okay, I'm not writing what you say. Listen to this now.
Yes.
The king hasn't ended in political disgrace. To the detractors of the king, it might look like the king has been moved out of the way because there's a lot of people in the world who believe that the king is not here in life again. The king is dead. They've got no proof in the world. All kind of things they try, they cannot prove what really happened to the man of mystery. They don't see the king. Well, why we hold the king up as an icon? If you look within the scriptures, you'll find it. The Revelation speak of the man who up on his vest and his tie is a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Emperor Haile Selassie is the only man today that has that title. The book of Acts 2:29 say, men and brethren, let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David, who is both dead and buried, but whose sepulchre is with us on this day. Knowing that God has sworn with an oath that out of the line of Jesse Black, them always say Jesse Black like you black like Jesse Hellgate. Out of the line of Jesse will I rise up Christ to again sit on his father David's throne. That time Christ is past and gone long time, you know. When Emperor Haile Selassie is the returned Messiah, the Christ in that day is the Rastafari in this day, the Emperor Haile Selassie.
His Majesty is the Most High from the foundation of the universe. When he was in the Temple, when that Temple was called Ios the Christ, and after the resurrection and departure, he said he shall return the second time in like manner. And when he comes, he shall sit upon his father's throne. And his throne shall remain and abide forever and ever. And we are seeing at the second time, Ios the Christ, at that time, he never sit upon his throne. But this time we return. Hail to the Almighty Anointed, great David, greater son. In his time appointed, his reign and earth began. He come to break down oppression and to set his captives free, and to take away transgression and to rule in equality. He's the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, not the tribe of Judah.
So the first coming, according to Ras over here, it wasn't the fullness. So the second coming is going to be the fullness. Yeah. Is the second coming here? Is he here yet?
Yeah.
Ras, go ahead.
Look, a movement whose God is dead fades away. Anytime the root of the tree is chopped down, the branches and the leaves wither. Yet today, if you look through the world, you see Rastafari in more increase. In South Africa, you have 2 million odd Rasta. Even this United States, they say you have 1.5 million of us. And we're all over the world, spreading throughout every clime and nation. So that means our God is alive. And furthermore, there are certain mysteries that the layman don't know, you know, that we'll have to tell them. There were 4 horses. The horseman of the apocalypse, the king mount the red horse already. He mount the black horse. He mount the pale horse. The king only transfigured from the sight of man to mount the pale horse, which shall be the final.
Let's talk about the chalice. Ras Brown, let's talk about the chalice. Why is marijuana, or Kali, or whatever you call it, so important to Rastas?
Look, every nation of the world has got their method of giving sacrifice unto who they believe is their deity. The red man deal with his peyote buds. The Chinese deal with their opium. The Indians, which is like Antwai, deal with ganja. You have opium, ganja, and all different kind of things that man use, giving praises to who they believe is their creator. We look at the herb, which is a very versatile herb, good for everything, as a way of offering spiritual sacrifice unto Emperor Haile Selassie, the Rastafari.
What I want to know, why you use ganja and not something else? Why ganja?
Because of our sacrament. It's a divine sacrament offered by fire. And the eye says, when Elijah shall come, you shall not hear his voice in the street, and a smoking flack you shall not quench. So for that cause he vowed the heavens, Psalm 18 again, Matthew 12, Psalms 18, and he come down and touch him out in smoke out of his nostril and fire in his mouth.
Psalm 68.
And he vowed the heavens. So the Rastas, the churches in Babylon today use wine as sacrifice. Now the Rasta use a herb which is called cannabis, the ancient order of Solomon. Moses called it the Talaman, which is ancient sacrifice. We offer unto the Most High by fire.
A bruised reed shall I not break, nor smoking flax will I quench, until I bring forth judgment unto righteousness. That means we don't quench it, we don't stop smoke. As much as you smoke is as much as Haile Selassie, the Rastafari himself, hear it in Zion and accept it. That is our burnt offering, as the elders told you.
Many people today only take it like a commercial gain. But the quality of the divinity and the vision have to touch the whole multitude. That simply means to say, who desire of this herb, someone only take it for fashion, someone take it for sport, but the Rastafari artically take it for the divinity of the Most High, who's offered by Psalm, by Revelation 8, half it with the prayer of all the saints.
How do I differentiate a real Rasta from a Rasta who just commercializes anything?
Just hold that, I promise you. That them realize that the more the people would use of this herb, is the more them keep in physical and mental proportion. Every knee going bow to this, you know, because the herb is irremovable. You can't do it nothing.
Revelation 22 says is the healing of the nation. Herb of the earth is the healing of the nation. Psalms 104 says grass for the beast and herb for the service of man.
Who's a real Rasta? Because you have all kinds of people wearing locks and smoking weed and running around and saying Jah. But not every one of them is
I say many are called, but few are chosen.
So how do I know? How do I know who's chosen?
We have a hard time to find. You have to test the irit of one to know that if he is a heretical, foundational, standard, traditionally. Some only take it for a hairstyle and go among nation and pollute himself.
All right.
Yeah. Now, hear this.
Yes.
We'll go further. Mark the perfect man and be only upright, for the end of that man is peace. Rasta man is not man we're making war with anyone on the street. We're not making war with neither government or no one, because they try to bring war to us, 60 odd years ago, and if we were people of war, then you wouldn't see a youth today who walk like I and I. Because they would have committed genocide. We are the people of peace. Our motto is peace and love. So you see anyone walking outside and the moral principles, as we say, Rasta like I and I walk, then you know that that's a fraud. Because we really have the genuine, you have the counterfeit.
Yeah, of course.
Today you have boys who not up the as they that speak little while to gain commercial enterprise. To them know Rasta is popular. Many men wear dreadlocks with an intention that they go exploit this movement for material gain. You understand?
Right.
So Rasta is a man of peace.
As you say in the next word, there's diverse type, yet one hope.
Yeah.
So all man, though you see, though he may have it a hairstyle, but in called by the name one hope.
Rastafarians usually refer to the world at large, or most of the world, as Babylon, and Rastas don't deal with material things, and Rasta don't deal with this, and Rasta don't deal with that. I want you all to address this whole issue of Rasta's attitude to material things.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
as pertaining to material things, I say, I am in the world and not of the world. My people are in the world and not of the world. For that cause the world have hated them for my name's sake. Now, if you have of the world and you do the things of the world, you do not have the Creator. Now, the things of the world carry people away like a whirlwind. The pleasure of the world, the gain of the world, the fleshliness of the world, all these things, the riches of the world, these are what carry men away. As a whirlwind blow them away. But the reality of our standard today is to keep the right order of righteousness.
But how can you live in a world? I want you to answer this to me. How can you live in this world, and with all the technology and all the things around you, how can you live in the world and not be of this world? How will you survive?
When the brothers speak that not of this world, it doesn't mean a physical existence.
I know that. But how can you live and not don't partake of the world?
Look, it means that the things, for instance, technology is good. The king was asked if money have any use. The king said money is good for every good cause. Money not good to make bombs and guns and decimate people. That's when money become a bad tool. But the Rastaman use all material things as tools. Because they're only tools. When you have money, it's like you have armor in your hand. You have the armor to drive a nail, you have the money to go and buy a box of matches or something out there. So it's not that we don't deal with material things. We don't worship material things.
Get you.
You have some man who have the bag of money, son him stand up over it, sit down over it, with him looking at him laugh. It sweet him. The fool and his money must depart.
Truly.
And I worship the things of material. We use them.
So you can have rich Rasta.
Yes,
you can have rich Rasta.
And as you have said, go now all ye rich men, weep and howl. Go now all ye rich men, weep and howl, for your misery that shall come upon you. Your silver and your gold shall be canker, and your garments shall be moth-eaten, and the very rust of them shall be a witness against you, saith the Most High. So don't come to boast, Rasta, don't come to boast about material. If in case that today I should find myself with a bag, I put that far behind I and put righteousness in the creation. For my glory must cover the earth as water covers the sea, not money. My glory have to cover the earth as water covers the sea. So these are the Rasta principle and way we don't boast about material. Because the world are mine. And all that dwell there in our mind.
Made for the use of man.
Yeah.
The Rastafari woman is the woman who knows her culture and have confidence within herself.
But what is this thing about a man in front and a woman behind?
Beside.
Huh?
Beside.
In Rastafari.
You see the king and the queen beside him, the emperor and the empress. So the emperor.
So the man is not the head.
Yes, sir.
He's the head. And what is the woman?
His companion.
His companion.
His queen.
All right, I have your perspective. Ras Sambrong, let me hear your perspective on this thing about how Rastas treat the women. You know, I mean, yes, you call them your queen and so on and so forth, but they're not treated as equal to you.
I take it. The head of the woman is the man, and the head of the man is God himself.
So you have God, you have man, and you have woman.
Aye. That don't mean that Rastas put their women down. Our tradition, you have some traditions of these, so they when girl pick the barn and kill the girl, pick them, and keep boys. But it never been in the Ethiopian tradition, because the only thing we expect of the woman is to walk within the principles and dignity as our mothers of old always walk. Rastaman woman, you may see them walk away and you just see them in a little skirt, catch them up here, so, and high heel shoes, and you say Rasta put down these women. Rasta not fight, gender fight. Because the Rastaman know his head, and he know that if the sister walking within the righteousness of the similitude of our mother, she will move within as how she must move.
And if she's not walking in the righteousness, what happens?
She's in Babylon.
I don't think another man upon the face of creation love woman as Rasta.
True, true.
The king said, daughters, glorify your king. And all the daughters in Jerusalem sing Hosanna to their king. Aye, so that's the eye. So, as the high say, the man is the head of the woman, and the Almighty is the head of the man. Now, we're going to share the tree. The tree in one is the Trinity. Never one without another. Father, Son, and our ancient mother. Our ancient mother. So the woman stood up our ancient mother. You couldn't have children without the mother.
But how
so it is that we love our daughters, but what I like that they are to walk in the similitude of the high commandment.
Sister Furiko, come in and help me understand this thing.
The role of Queen Amiga, the Rastafari woman, was outlined by Leonard P. Howell in his book, The Promised Key. Written under the name of G.G. Mirage, Howell said, Queen Amiga, the Ethiopian woman, is the crowned woman of this world. She hands us her rule book from the poles of supreme authority. She's the canon mistress of creation. King Alpha and Queen Amiga are the paymasters of the world. Queen Amiga, being the barman mistress of many worlds, she charges the powerhouse, which is the Rastafari males right now. King Alpha and Queen Amiga said to his wife, they were here on this earth before, if you please. Please hand me the payroll and the militant balance sheet. Your Majesty will mount His Excellency's great circle throne and throw all theocracy above the wheel of holy time, right into holy eternity, to the Lion of Alpha and Omega.
You hear what I tell you before? I say, the head of the woman is the man, and the head of the man is the Almighty God. That means that there's no equality with our God, you know. God is my Father, can be equal
Exactly,
with him.
but I'm talking about equality between you and the woman.
Look, where the woman is concerned within any kind of ability that she have, we don't try to put her down. We give the woman the chance to take herself to the highest point where her wisdom would carry her. We don't put down the woman. We don't push the woman in a corner and say, yes, woman, stay back, so. We only say, we suffer not a woman to teach. Your Bible show it, 1 Peter 2, 1 Timothy 3, these chapters show it, you suffer not a woman to preach. We see women in Babylon today fighting against what Rome say. Because Rome say one good thing is a woman have to preach. Yet we see women are fight now to be pastors and them kind of things there. Father said the woman not to preach. That's the only thing I hold against the daughter. Saying if you go out there and go prophesy in front of man.
So what I'm hearing here is that women are not allowed to preside at high
Not preside.
or they're not allowed to go and preach the word?
Not preside.
And not capable to represent the church.
Why? Why?
Because
I have to go in the vagina and go through, you know.
had spoken these things. When it comes upon the administration, the father never ordained a woman as a priest to minister the throne. But he ordained the man to minister the throne. Makiba said in the Fatanigos that she was a queen on that Jerusalem throne. And from the day she took down to call to the prophet and said, from this day, let no woman be seen on the throne. For it is said from ancient order that the Almighty ordained the man to be the keeper of the throne.
Here. So at least there is one thing that Rome and the Rastas agree on. That is, women cannot sit on the throne.
No.
No, the woman not supposed to preach.
All right. I just...
Neither the father allowing a man to teach or to preach.
So Rasta and Rome at least agree on one thing. Let's move on.
Sons and daughter, give I thine heart, and I shall give you my father's kingdom. So the woman have the same power to glorify the Father within yourself. Miriam coming through Egypt over the Red Sea, when she see what the Father have done today, Miriam called all the woman and take up their timbers and glorify the Father, and she was called a prophetess.
You think black people are really taking the Rastafarian teachings on the question of African culture seriously? Are you satisfied that they're taking it seriously?
It is slow but sure. The mill of the God grinds slow, but it grinds to powder. We smite the image. Babylon is the image. Golden head, breast of silver, belly of brass, legs of iron, and part clay. Well, the dogma of Rastafari, because I don't use guns, the doctrine of Rastafari break it down all of these Babylonian structures. And today, it is not extremely rapid, but I'm pleased to see the kind of changes taking over the people, because I see more Afrocentricity within the people. I can see the people kind of shedding certain ways of the Babylonian. So I know say it won't take a minute for it to come, but I know that it surely must come, because man like I and I, will sit down here, have been given a divine command to gather black people from the four winds of the earth to take them home. You understand? So where today I believe the people more look with them face to the east, because the king come. And to put in something in this thing now, throughout every nation of the world today you find Rasta, you know, in every kind of color, in every kind of race, you find Rastafarians, black, white, yellow, red, and all shades in between. So I know, say, Rasta is the only genuine movement that stands to liberate black people. The king toured the world, and the only race movement that the king deal with, meet us, shook our hand, give us medal, and say we are his blood brothers.
Ras Bonaji, let's talk about education.
Our divine education that the Rastaman teach in the world today is to bring the people to a clear knowledge, to receive I majesty as the irate of iration. Now this glory must cover, as I said, this glory must cover the earth as water covers the sea. Whether you be white, whether you're brown, whether you're pink, my vision and my spiritual fall upon all ones and ones. And the whole multitude shall glorify I. So the righteousness of the Almighty goes forth from one ends of the earth to another. And all people, nation and tongue have to recognize this day, because out of all the denomination, religion, Christianity, there's no one that was here to tell the people to live. It's only Rasta man come and say, live. I am a creator of the living, another creator of the dead. For the dead praise and I neither do go down in silence. So the denomination and religion and Christianity introduce to the people that they have to dead before them can see God. Now the Rasta man comes and say, not like that. The Almighty say, he that glorify, live. He that keepeth my commandment shall live forever and ever. He that worship I shall live forever. He that walk uprightly and do the things that is righteous, they shall have life eternal.
It's not the same time you put the pot to boil and the fire. That the water gets hot, you know.
It takes time.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Well, there has been programs from the beginning that the elders of this faith knew for today. Well, those programs are slowly coming into effect. Because a government is made of a tripod. And anything you know that supports government, the Rastaman is working towards such ends also.
Ras Banerjee, let's talk about politics. What is the Rasta's attitude to politics?
As far as what we have seen today, and how we have seen politics running the world today, Rasta have not that type of politics.
Okay, what type of
because
politics?
Because the politics that we have seen is pro-bloodshedders. And our stepping forward of our, if you say, politics of life, it doesn't call for bloodshedding. It doesn't call for wickedness. And we have seen all the government of Rome come right down to the grassroots of the poor man involved in bloodshedding. And that is out of the creation together. Are we seeing within the church ecclesiastical politics to trick the people and to hand the people over to the slave master? Those are those type of politics the Rasta man doesn't edify or take them in action of working.
So
the type of what you say politics, we are at a divine authority.
Would Rasta
have divine message, we have divine principle, we have divine culture, we have divine heart to put forward to the people and to take this for instance. As Rasta rise up in Jamaica strongly from 1930, from His Majesty established to 1930, the 2nd of November. Now the Rasta, the greatest place of the earth that received the vision, it was Jamaica. And Jamaica rise up and start to publish and flash the branches all through the earth.
So would you all support a Rasta man running to become Prime Minister or to become a parliamentarian?
When you're ready to ask me a question, I will answer.
That is what I'm asking you.
Oh. What you saying now?
Would the Rasta movement support a Rasta man running to become Prime Minister or to become a parliamentarian?
Where?
Anywhere in the world, in Jamaica or
Hear this now. The brother's giving you his idea and his version of politics.
Right.
Is a tripod all government set upon? Religion, economics, and politics. The king, politics, before we even go further, means the science of government. That's what the word politics means, the science of government. And I'm talking about politics of what the brother just speak of. Politics is that those who know the science of government use it in a manner that is not right for the people's benefit, and then it becomes politics.
Right.
We're not dealing with that. The kind of politics that I personally is defending in this day is to go in the United Nations Hall and speak for the justice of black people as my king did in the League of Nations. That's what I'm dealing with, international politics. I deal with politics to meet men like how my my father meet the whole of them in the League of Nations
So-
and bring them down.
So you're dealing with international politics.
That's what I'm dealing
Pan-Africanism.
with. Because I hear this. I know say my deliverance from round here will be dictated by governments. We don't lick down the church already of Babylon, you know.
But,
the state
but I
now.
want you to answer my question
Answering it.
straight. Would you support a Rasta who want to run, let's say a Rasta want to run for mayor of Washington? You're not involved in that.
Look, the Rasta would have to state policies. I can't defend somebody where I don't know what is your policy.
Okay.
I have to know what you're dealing with. Why, instead of seeking repatriation, which is to make these people give up and carry home without price, why you seek a place here? I'm trying to run from the West now because the West will perish and I don't want to stay around there anymore, you know.
All right. So Rasta still believe in going back to Africa.
Not believe.
The Garveyite philosophy of back to Africa is still alive in the Rastafari movement.
Burning fire, man.
It's the Rasta man carrying home the people.
All right.
Through the power of the king.
Right.